In this video, I'm going to be talking about how I messed up my life at 18, 19, 21, 22, and 23, and 24. I'm currently 24 years old right now. In the title, you will see GTN EP1. GTN stands for Gone Till November, Episode 1. What does Gone Till November means? It means that up until November, I'm drilling down on the small incremental parts of my life to make drastic improvements. And where did I get the title name from? Well, I was listening to Nine's 3 days ago, and one of his old projects that I used to listen to in year 7 and year 8 is called Gone to November, and I just like the concept. He was getting rested before summer, so I think he came out after November or during November, hence the title Gone to November. A period of time where he was gone and then he came back. And that's the same concept that I'm introducing to this secret hidden channel, Gone to November. But yeah, anyway, I'll get into it without boring you guys. Before I even begin, this channel is more so a video diary for myself. So I'm just talking to myself. Maybe one day my son will watch this video, or my sons will watch this video. Maybe my brothers will watch this video. Maybe my nephew will watch this video. Who knows? Right? But this is just me talking to myself upon self-reflection, and you listening to my reflections and taking whatever you want to take from it. Anyway, so the first way that I messed up my life at 18, 19, 21, 22, 23, and 24, by the way, I'm currently 24 years old now, is I thought that I was better than I was. And this is something that I carried for a long time, and I'm not sure where it came from. And just thinking about it now, when it came to school, mainly physical things like running, football, rugby, strength, speed, I was really good at these things. Like when people were picking teams for PE, physical education, I would be in the top 3, right? Especially if it's a physical sport. Now, I'm not sure. Maybe that mentality that I had at that time, actually being good at things and believing that I was really him, carried itself throughout my teenager life and my early adulthood. All right, the difference between then and now was that I was actually good at those things. I would say from 18 up until 24, when I look back at it, there isn't really much results to say, okay, yeah, you were actually really good. A lot of it was just ego. You feel good. You think about your potential. You know what you could do. But really nothing actually transpired out of those feelings, let's say, because really and truly that's all that they were. Now, when I look back, as I just said a second ago, there isn't much that I can look back and say, yeah, you know what, because of said thing, that can justify the feeling of me feeling that I was better than everybody else. Like nothing happened that proved to me to say that, okay, cool, I am the best, or I am who I think I am. For example, I have friends that maybe hit their first 10k a month in their business, or maybe someone that's selling their business. Of course, you're 24. Not many people are selling their business at these ages, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. Maybe someone is doing extremely well in their career. Maybe they've got this super sick mentor, or maybe they've gotten access to this crazy opportunity, and now they're just excelling in life beyond the peers that are around them. You know, just something that would validate the feeling of them feeling better than just proof in their life that would prove to them that they are better. I don't have that, right? For me, it's just ego. When I really sit down and I look back at the things that's gone on in my life, there isn't proof. There's no proof. Of course, I've done things like had great mentors, met millionaires, had, experiences that not the average person or average young person in the 20s would experience. Of course I have those, but it's nothing that I am proud of. It's almost like the bare minimum. You know what I mean? Wow, it's crazy. I was gonna say something else, but it kind of slipped my mind. But my advice for you or anyone that's watching this video right now is it's okay to think that you're better than everybody else. It's okay to look at yourself and say, yeah, I'm him. I can really do this. I can do anything that I stick my mind to. I could stop a train with my bare hands if I really locked in. It's okay to think that, but back it up with action and have real proof. And this is not just to the world, but proof to yourself. Because when you have proof for yourself, you will have a level of confidence and you will have a level of conviction when you speak to yourself. Reason being is because you actually believe yourself. Sometimes now I've caught myself saying certain things that are, yeah, Aaron, you can do this, or we can achieve this, or we can make this thing happen. But when I look at my track record, I have a track record of a trier, not the track record of an accomplisher, somebody that really accomplishes things and gets things done. But I will say though, separately, that's one of the things that I am proud of about myself. The fact that I've actually stepped out of my comfort zone a lot and tried. When things didn't look like they were going to work, I tried. When things looked like they were going to work, I tried. If there was a 1 in 10 chance of something going my way, I was willing to roll the dice. No matter how, and I was always willing to be accountable and take the pain that was going to come from whatever decision that it was at the time. And people would always say that I'm stubborn, and I am. I'm not gonna lie. I can be very stubborn, and I'm trying to think. Maybe me thinking I'm better than I was breeded the stubbornness. Maybe not, or maybe they're linked or related in some way. Not sure. But what I will say is one of the reasons why I have been very stubborn throughout my life is because I wanted to live a life where I can bear the fruits of my own decisions. I didn't want to live a life where I listened to everybody else around me and did what everybody else wanted me to do, and then I look up a couple of years down the line and I say, hold on, I've never actually done what I wanted to do. I lived for everybody else, I didn't live for myself. And something that I said to my mum a while back is that if everything goes wrong, of course I'm not going to be impressed by it, I'm not going to be happy or satisfied by it, but I will be content with the fact that this is my fault and we're here because I made a sequence or a series of decisions that had led me here today, rather than it be a situation where I've listened to somebody else for so long and their ideas and me listening to their ideas has led me to where I am today. I'd rather it all be because of me rather than it be because of somebody else. And now I resent that person, and I also resent myself for listening to that person. I'd rather just resent myself for not making a better decision. And I think that's the stage that I'm kind of in right now. But yeah, take what you want to take from that. The second way that I feel like I've messed up my life, or I messed up my life 18, 19, 21, 22, 23, 24. For context, again, I'm 24 right now and I'm going to be 25 next month, September. The reason why I feel like I really messed up is because I tried to do entrepreneurship without a base. Sorry, when I'm looking down, I'm literally looking at my phone. I tried to do entrepreneurship without a stable financial base. And what I mean by that is from like the ages of 18, late teenagerhood to early adulthood, most people are working. They're working, right? And then they're trying to do entrepreneurship on the side. So I have this stable income coming in while simultaneously doing entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is going to be a thing that gets me to the next level, but the job keeps me in place so that I don't drown. For me, I was working up until I was 22, I think. I'm not sure what year that is. I can't be able to do the maths in my head. But yeah, so 2 years ago, 21, 22, because I was in a relationship around those times. And I stopped working when I got my drone, and then that's when I went into quote unquote full-time entrepreneurship. But I wasn't earning full-time entrepreneurship money. yeah, I was just offering a drone service to videographers and music artists to do drone visuals for their music videos. But I would only earn the odd £100, £150 here and there. It wasn't a consistent thing. It was more so whenever I'd be contacted by the videographer to say, yeah, we've got a booking, and he'll send me a deposit of £50. I'd be like, okay, yeah, cool, we got some money. So it was a hit and miss. It wasn't a thing where I was consistently booked each week and stuff like that. But yeah, so most people had stable income. They had a stable foundation. So even if entrepreneurship didn't work for the time being, they wasn't struggling financially. Me, on the other hand, because I thought that I was better than I was, and I just didn't have the future foresight, I think that's the word, and because I just had a lot of self-belief at the same time. Like, I wouldn't even really fault myself for this. I really had the self-belief, and I was willing to take bold action and roll the dice, even if it was going to hurt me. Like, I was willing to do it. I put my hands up. But because of that mentality that I had at that time, and I didn't have a stable foundation, every time I did earn money from entrepreneurship, it had to go to a life expense, meaning that I never had the chance for my entrepreneurship pot to grow. For now, if you have a job and you're working and you have that stable income coming in, and then you earn entrepreneurship money, you can use the entrepreneurship money for, maybe you want to invest in a course, maybe you want to invest in a mentor, maybe you want to buy new equipment, whatever it may be, right? You can do that. Or you can literally put that entrepreneurship money to the side in a bank account and say, you know what, cool, that's just there. Let's just have that there, right? And then your money that you earn from your job, that can sort out your life expenses. If you drive, maybe you're helping your parents, for your phone bill, clothes, to eat, travel, experiences, going out with your friends, things like that. Your job money will pay for those things. Now, because I didn't work, every time I earned money from entrepreneurship, the entrepreneurship money will go to a life expense. So it always felt like entrepreneurship was a hamster cycle for me, because I never see the financial benefits for it, because I never allowed myself to be in a situation where I could receive the financial benefits of it. Now the question is, Aaron, all this time, why didn't you work? When I look back at it, because I'm literally doing a self-reflection, I'm telling you guys I was pretty much an idiot for it, and it was a big mistake of mine. The reason why I didn't do it is because I worked from 18 up until around 21, 22. And these jobs were warehouse jobs, driver's mate jobs, retail jobs. Like, my first ever job was a kitchen porter. After the kitchen porter, I said I'm never doing that again. I was washing dishes in a Japanese restaurant in Paddington, near the station, or near Edgware Road Station, literally walking distance from there. But yeah, so from there then I had a job in Tesco Brent Park, and then I had a job. Then I don't know what I was doing after that, literally, but it was warehouse roles, Amazon warehouse, all of those types of jobs. And then it got to a point where at first it was fine, like, you didn't really think about it too much. I'm just going to work, you know. Like, me and Geller, my friend Geller, we worked with an agency called the Shore Group, and they would send us away. So sometimes they'll send us to different cities, different locations. They'll pay for our train and hotel, but we will go and do 12-hour night shifts. So from 8 to 8, so 8 p.m. till 8 a.m. or 6 p.m. till 6 a.m. for like 4 days straight. One time we went to Glastonbury and we did it for 12 days, 9 days. I can't remember how long it was, but yeah, it was a lot. But anyway, what was I saying? I got to a point where I just hated working. Like, waking up and going to go and do it, waking up to go enslaved. You're in this workplace, you're looking at the clock, you're thinking, I can't wait until it gets to X time. Sometimes you'll be working for ages and you make sure that you don't check your phone, and then you finally check your phone and you realize only 30 minutes has gone by, and you're thinking, how on earth has only 30 minutes gone by? It feels like an hour and a half, at least a minimum an hour, but it feels like an hour and a half has gone by. And yeah, for me, it really just got to a point where I was like, I'm not doing this. I don't want to do that. I'd rather, all this time that I'm spending here, I'd rather put this time and energy into what I think can work, and then take life from there. In the end, none of it worked. I had a lot of ventures that I tried, from consulting businesses to the marketing agency that I had with my friend Hazefa, from videography to dronography. Of course, I earned money from these things, but for two reasons, yeah, I did earn money from these things. But number one, I don't think I gave these things enough time for it to really work, because I was so desperate for money. And the reason why I was desperate for money is because I didn't have a job and have that stable foundation. I would, I would bunny hop. So I would start a venture. I would give it like 6 months, 6 to 8 months, because it's not working the way that I want it to go. I would naturally stumble across a better opportunity, or an opportunity that's better in my eyes, and then jump to the opportunity. And then I literally repeated that process for from 18 to 24, pretty much, all because I didn't have a stable foundation. And I guarantee, if I had a stable foundation, I probably would have stuck with something. Am I happy that I didn't stick with any of those businesses? Yeah, because when I look at it now, as for my current character, like, I don't think I would want those businesses. Like, me and my friend Hazefa, we had a marketing agency. I think that's probably the only business that I wouldn't mind having right now with him. But I do think that it wouldn't be a marketing agency right now. It probably would have evolved into something else, I'm pretty sure. But who knows? But after that, I had consulting businesses. One of them was helping beauty businesses. Another one was helping people in their relationships and dating and stuff. So I was helping women for a while. I accumulated over 5.8 million views on TikTok in 2025. After that, I started coaching men. What other consulting businesses did I have? My first ever consulting business was called Growth Nation, and this was where it was just personal development. It started off as a blog, and then I ran my first online cohort mastermind because Valentine's Day was coming, and I needed to make money to take my girl out for Valentine's Day. So yeah, I ran a cohort for £99, and I had a good few people join. Funny enough, yeah. But now, in terms of business, I have different, like, scope on business, different acumen, different perspective as well, because I don't want to be in the info space. Of course, like, a lot of my time was spent in info. That's because my first mentor, Jazz Rose, and he was coaching Hazefa at the time, my good friend. That was our first real introduction to real business, and people making real money. So naturally, and there was an opportunity that was given to us at that time, so we just naturally gravitated towards info. And from then onwards, my perspective on business and my approach to business was also always from an info, yeah, just from an info angle, so to speak. But yeah, I think I went way off of what I was saying originally. But yeah, if you're young and you're watching this right now, maybe you're the same age as me, don't try and do entrepreneurship without a financial base. And I know, because you probably think like me, you don't want to work, right? But at the same time, you're going to make life a lot more difficult for yourself. Yeah, you're going to make life a lot more difficult for yourself. Like, even away from entrepreneurship, I think I've missed out on a lot of experiences simply because I didn't have the money. And the money could have easily just came from a job. Like, genuinely and truly. Simple things like going on holiday with your friends. Simple things like buying new clothes, being able to go out on payday and just spend a little bit and not really worry about where the money's coming from. Being able to live life knowing that you're going to get paid on the 25th of every single month. Like, just knowing that you have money coming in. But again, you might be like me. Do you want to take the risk? Sure. Why not? Because at the end of the day, you can just get a job. But I'm saying, if you're younger than me and you want to fast track the journey, just have a job there on the side. You don't have to work full time. It doesn't have to be a shit job. Just at least you have something coming in every single month, so your entrepreneurship money can be put to entrepreneurship uses rather than it be each time you earn money from entrepreneurship, and it goes to a life expense. That's just my personal experience and my advice that I will say to you, just to make your life easier. Are there people that double down on one thing, and they made it happen, and they put all the eggs in one basket and rolled the dice and it worked? 100%. 100%. Should you do that? It's completely up to you. But I'm just letting you know what's on the other side if that thing doesn't work. Yeah. And I think, yeah. The third way that I feel like I messed up my life from 18, 19, 21, 22, 23, and 24 is not honing in on one specific skill. Yeah. I'd say my favorite ability of mine is marketing. And of course, marketing is very broad. It's just my favorite. That's just my bread and butter. It's the way my brain is wired. When I think about marketing, I get excited. Subconsciously, I'm always thinking about how a business can market themselves better and what opportunities can come from that, how they can make their sales process a lot more easier, how they can get buy-in from customers mentally and emotionally before they get the buy-in financially, or making it easier to get the buy-in financially. All of these things, right? But I didn't hone in on marketing properly like I really could have. From the ages of like 18. But I don't blame myself really, because at those ages I didn't even know anything. I didn't know what I wanted. People spoke about skills, but I didn't really think about it too much. The reason why I didn't think about it too much is because I was so focused on making money right now that these things were irrelevant. You're talking to me about skill. Me, I'm hungry. I need food, right? But as the time has gone by and I can really look back at the time retrospectively, I didn't sit down and say, yeah, I'm going to learn this skill and just this only. Because if I spent, let's say, 18 to 23 in one place just doing one skill, money would just be a normal byproduct. It wouldn't even be a thing that you have to hustle for. It wouldn't be a thing that you have to scrap around for. Money would just be attracted to you. Why? Because you can provide value to the marketplace. And I didn't hone in on one specific skill, and I didn't build something. I didn't allow it to compound so that I can be at a point where that money comes automatically. But yeah, these are things that I'm going to change in my life. But these are just also things that when I look back and I say, what would I change? These are some of the things that I would have changed, that I would change 100%. But yeah, if you are younger than me, or even if you're the same age as me, or if you are older, yeah, take what you want to take from it. But go on to November, episode 1 over, and I'll see you guys in the next vid.